and dog them up and kick them up, we can understand. If one of their own is treated with the same level, not impunity, but like with such barbarism.
Yes, sir. And it goes with you if you don't have a family member in the job that care for your well-being, or if you're not intimately involved with somebody in the job, or if you're not of a rank and file service. I mean, that's just how it is. You suffer the consequences.
How old were you in the job at that time?
I think I was about 32.
No, I mean in terms of years of service.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was maybe like 9 years service, 9 to 10 years service.
An officer
I think.
in the Jamaica Constabulary Force assigned to the training school.
Yes, sir.
You went to investigate a matter at another police station, and you went in your uniform. You have on your police clothes.
Yes, sir.
So you're a police woman. You go down there. You're Babylon.
Right.
Go talk to other Babylon about the issues that have to do with your property.
But because of my rank as a district constable, that's how I was classified, and that's how I was dealt with.
So therefore, you are really way below, not just pay grade, but way below their standards. So as far as them concerned, how dare you to speak to them like that?
Very well, sir.
So how did the matter resolve? Where did you go from there?
Sir,
you went on suspension.
I went on suspension for 4 years. So for 4 years, I was drawn.
So what happened in the first year of your suspension?
I was going to court, St. Catherine Resident Magistrate Court, and it was a case where every month when I was supposed to go to court, the police officers never showed up, or they're missing, or they would come to court late and my case was stalled. I must tell you, sir, my attorney then, Vincent Leslie, I respect him very much. He has never missed
a court date.
He gave me the assurance that he's there for me. When I needed the police force, like the chaplaincy branch of the JCF that do, like
you're supposed to be counseling and getting
support well-being. No, they were never there. Nobody has ever showed up at my court.
But was your matter reported to the department so that you could get this kind of a counseling and kind of moral and support?
It was just shiv under the table. It was not.
What are the branches and areas did this matter was first reported to? So we can see whether...
I went to Indicom, and then they said to me that because we are both serving members, I have to go to then Inspectorate of Constabulary. I'm not sure their name now.
No, but we don't have to call the name, but
yeah. I went to that department in the system, and they took my report, and it was thrown under the table. It was placed in file 13 for 5 years.
So for 5 days you were there and nothing happened? The matter just never surfaced?
No, sir. And I saw the police officer, the investigator that had my case, in a wheelchair in the airport in 2022, 2023, I think. And she said, I know your face. I said, yes, you were the one that threw away my case, case note, my report. She said, you know what? They had came down on me to throw it away. So that's why
they
confessed to me.
Confessed to you.
That
she had to dump the file, literally, for want of a better term. Because the rest of the hierarchy came down on her.
Yes, sir. So my case, justice was not served on my behalf.
So you changed lawyer? Did you have to change lawyers?
No, I did not. I did not. Because, like, as I tell you before, Mr. Wellesley, he has been there. He has been the tower of strength through my 4 years of going to court. But
he was not able to go anywhere with the matter because he was not able to see anybody come
He was my defense attorney. He was my defense attorney. But to say, take up the case like a cross-examination, he was not able to do so because...
The matter never went to trial?
It went to trial.
It went to trial?
Yes, sir. For 4 years. It went to trial. And he and my doctor, Dr. Banjoka, they came to court and they testified on my behalf. And one of the police officers that was involved in the incident, he told the court that he was being used by the other 3 officers to go against me, but he cannot go against me because he remembered when he was in training and I was there for him and I'm not a bad police officer.
So how did the court resolve the matter? You say it's still not resolved?
It is resolved. It is resolved in 2022. But this is how my case was thrown out of the court, or dismissed for a better word. Their evidence, their testimonies was inconsistent 3 police officers give inconsistent test.
As it really so, what really took place and
Yes,
how
sir.
it
And
led
if
to.
I did beat up 4 police officers, if I did create a scene in the station, and that's when the case was dismissed by the judge. The judge said, based on the inconsistency in the case, I find you not guilty.
Find you.
Me not guilty.
And they got, but then any compensation out of the police department?
So
did the judge, you know,
So in the process of being, when I tried to get compensation for damages,
compensation, yeah.
I hired this attorney, Nigel Jones.
You don't have to call his name.
I want to call his name because he's very wicked.
What do you mean by that? You can back up that statement?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He took my 200,000 Jamaican dollars and did not take my case to court.
You mean him take your money and never take the case?
I applied, I retained the service of his office.
You got a receipt for the money?
Yes, sir. I transferred via NCB because it's a lot of money, so I wanted to do the online transfer to have accountability for the money. And I retained his office to represent my case of a lawsuit against the JCF. And for 1.5 years, my file was at the office and it was being transferred between 4 different attorneys at the same office.
You mean his legal practice?
His legal practice.
Yeah.
And then they said, oh, we have a lot of cases to deal with. We're going to attend to your case. And it was like that for like 1.5 years. And I kept on sending email back and forth and nothing was forthcoming from him. And when I reached out, I said, listen, may I have my money that I would have paid your practice to represent me?
And nothing happened.
He sent me a letter that he sent to the commissioner, and they had like, I think it was 30 days or 45 days to respond to the letter, and they did not. And my case has not brought to the Supreme Court for a lawsuit against the JCF for damages that they would have done towards me.
So right now you're still waiting a response from the JCF and from him?
Sir, it has been 2 years. And I've not gotten any communication from him about my money. He told me that I owed, he should, like the fees that he would have used to write the letter was like 100,000 to write a letter to the commissioner. And my case just stopped. I've not gotten anything from him. My case don't go to the Supreme Court nor anything at all.
And you have not heard any response from him as it relates to a response from the commissioner of police?
No, sir. No, sir. They were willing to have a mediation with me.
Oh, the commissioner of police's office?
The office.
Yes.
That's what, based on the communication and correspondence from them. But because Mr. Nigel's office was being reluctant to communicate further with me, apparently they sent me an email and CC the office on it. And when I responded to the email, the commissioner office was in the email. And because of what I said in the email, I think that's where everything come to a halt.
What do you mean by what they say? Because you implicated the commissioner of police's office in conspiracy to not satisfying your demands?
No, because the office of Nigel Jones and Company, they were being reluctant to respond to my email and communicating with me to tell me the nature and the status.
How far the thing reached,
right.
etc.
And I said, I don't want your office to further represent me. Please refund me the funds and I will seek
legal services
elsewhere.
and protection.
And because of that, I think the commissioner office had come to a halt to not proceed with.
So they were not waiting to hear if you get a new lawyer or something like that.
Precisely, sir. But I lost. I think the time is out of statute. I think it's like 5 years you have within statute to file a case or something pertaining to restitution from
the constabulary force.
Right. Not only that,
but government agency.
Yes, overall.
Overall. What can really go so? Did you hear what she just said? Did you understand how she gave you a chronological, literally breakdown of the ordeal that she suffered?
Yes.
And why she suffered it? And by whom she suffered it from? At the hands of members of her whole professional colleagues.
Yes, they said the service that is for good.
The people who commit themselves and take a oath to serve and protect.
Yes, sir.
and it becomes a part of a conspiracy of, it's so corrupt.
Very.
It is so corrupt. So how are you seeking, but what did that do to your person, to you as an individual, as a person?
Listen, sir, I find reassurance. I just look at it as a stepping stone in my life, because sometimes in order to get where you're going, you have to have mishaps, downfall, detour, setbacks for you to know your purpose. So you just keep going forward and keep going on your journey. And whatever obstacles that may come, I said grace will take me through it. And I just find the assurance in acts of service to people.
Where was the Police Federation in all of this?
They were okay. They told me that they can't assist me, even though I was paying dues to to the organization. They said that they have a lot going on and they can't take on my case.
The Federation?
The Police Federation.
They're supposed to be helping to,
okay,
to look about the interests of its members?
Yes, sir. I will not call this officer name, but there's a particular member that was there. I don't think he's there anymore. When I was trying to I'm looking for the word. Re-enlist.
You decided to try to re-enlist?
No, reinstate.
Reinstate,
right,
yes.
That's the word. When I was trying to reinstate after my court case completed, he told me that, I said, hey, sir, can you make a phone call to the commission office and all those places for me to get reinstated? He said, so I can beg you some? Beg you some of what?
Hold on.
That's the culture.
The Police Federation,
Yes.
who's supposed to be part of your defense.
Yes, sir.
As an officer, they're
Because
supposed to
I'm
look for the
paying my-
welfare.
because I'm
Because
paying
you're a
my
paid
dues.
dues member, card carrying member
Yes, sir.
of the Federation.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. The corruption is beyond the boundary.
Beyond the boundary, sir.
And this police, what level of officer was he? Was a vice
I don't
president?
want to say. I don't want to
Was
say.
he a president or vice
I don't
president?
want to say because it's going to narrow down to one people, but he was in good standing.
And him, I ask you to give him somebody something before he
So we
can
can get
investigate and deal with your case.
Yes, sir. I would have gone to the office, the commission office now to check on my file.
Yes.
And they
You went to
said,
the commissioner's office now.
the general office.
The general office. That time, who was the commissioner at the time now? Anderson?
Yes, Major Anderson.
Yes.
I think so, yes.
Yes.
Because it's in 2023. So I think
Yes.
so. And they said, you're not going to get back the job.
Why?
DC want back the work after you go down at the station and beat up 4 policemen. So that was the stigma, or that has always been the stigma that surrounds.
So you are the baddest woman in town.
In town.
You better than Trinity and all the rest of
Yes.
people that when it came to us by police.
Yes, sir.
You are
I'm not-
district constable.
Mr. Adams is not bad like me. In their
Your
mind.
eyes.
In their eyes. Yes. I went to the station and beat up 4 policemen, and there's no way I can be reinstated in the job. And you know, they have a little saying that say, cast your bread upon the water and many days you find it. I went to the HR department and I went to somebody and I said, sir, I need your help. I don't think I want to stay in the job, but I need your help. I want to get my compensation for the 4 years I've not worked. And he said, Ms. Smikle, I remember the days when I usually walk to Tree Road from the towers, and I had no car at the time, and you gave me a couple rides. And what do you want me to do for you? I mean, my heart was blessed because I'm saying this is a different atmosphere from everybody that's telling you, give me liquor your sweetness for me to help you somewhere in the organization, for me to do something for you. And that was like a different atmosphere for me. And that's how comes I got reinstated and then I got paid within a month and just leave. When I left Mr. Tenny, I thought all was well. They were looking for me to charge me internally.
For what?
According to their court of inquiry policy, whenever a member is charged externally by the court of the charge criminally,
yes,
and they win their case and they resume work, they now do an internal departmental charge where you go to orderly room and they fine you and it's placed on your file as long as they serve it in the organization.
That means you won't get promotion and you won't get
No.
anything because
So you're
internally they're not going to turn you down.
very much, sir.
The program is 10 million live. We're here in our students here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm speaking with Ms Smikle, a former member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, that august body of people that commit themselves and take a oath to serve and protect. And they've never served her as a member of the organization.
Yes, sir.
And definitely there was no protection because she was treated just like a common criminal
Yes,
outside there.
worse than a criminal.
Or worse than a criminal.
Yes.
She was held and beaten by members of the office and then them lie that she beat up 4 policemen. Now, why would this one woman beat up 4 policemen?
Exactly, sir.
It's just like you said, the man was in his bed and the police went into the room and then he drew for a gun and he had to get shot. No, if the man can't go through the window and the door and 4 or 6 police come inside that room, why that idiot? Which idiot in the world, not even Donald Trump, would be so stupid to be able to take a gun from under your pillow to defend yourself against the police?
Exactly.
Where does that make sense? What can go so? So how are you dealing with healing and mending? Because that was more than a roller coaster ride for you.
Very much.
Emotionally, psychologically, and the kind of embarrassment that caused you and your peers and everybody else.
Sir, you know, I'm being very honest with you. Nothing in my life let me feel so broken like them doing injustice to me. I think like they took a part of me that even when I do therapy, it can't mend. You know, you something break and you literally do welding for it to come back together.
And it just won't.
It just not coming back together.
How long were you in therapy for?
For like 2 years. But I find, I don't know why I feel emotional, but I find little things to do to kind of take my mind and to know that good still reign in me. I serve good purpose. When I moved away and moved to the States, you know that, Mr. Tenny, can I tell you that even when I was on suspension and going through my court case and you know my salary was not there, I had like bills to pay, mortgage and all that. Only the good Lord helped me. The people that I thought would be there for me, they were looking for help.
The whole of them become a shadow.
Yeah, and they're trying to take as well from me. And you know that while I was into court, Mocha was doing investigation on me. Mocha.
Yes, the same agency is it that you reported to for defense and protection?
Yes, sir. Was doing investigation on me, checking my bank account. Somebody at the bank told me because I have like properties that I rent and get money from the business.
Can you know how to find another means of living?
No, I always have it going on while I'm serving, but there are paper trail for every money that I would have, have in my possession and stuff like that. And they were doing investigation on my account. I have a home that the tenants there for 5 years. They don't know nothing about me other than my name because we both signed a lease agreement. And they went there to ask them how much I'm paying, how much they're paying for rent, how much they're if they know that I'm a police, I'm on suspension. At one point, I didn't want to use my personal funds, so I had a car that I was running taxi from Ocherias to Spanish Town. They are good people. You know what the police officers did? Go out at the stand and tell the police, the loader man and the taxi people to terrorize me. I start having hell.
You're not serious.
They
didn't go stoop that low and get so petty.
Sir, I start having hell at the stand. All along, I was being treated like a princess. Yes, this professional woman, we don't know her from nowhere, but we heard that she's a police officer and she just come to just get a little change and keep it moving. And you do your 2 trips down to Ocherias, go down to Ocherias, do your 2 trips, come back up, and that's it for the day. When the police officers told them, and the loader man said, those people tell us to get police to take away your car, not giving no passenger. They took away my car out there, and then a police officer actually fight at the stand. He pulled his fireman me and I pulled my fireman. I drove away and I drove down to Mandela Park and back up my car and in bike and all kind of something. I thought that they were okay. They went to NHT to get my house taken away from me. To tell NHT that I'm renting my home.
They stooped that low and was so vindictive.
Very vindictive. They were not satisfied. You know what they did? They went to the embassy in Jamaica.
The U.S. Embassy?
The U.S. Embassy to get my visa canceled. I told you, the proverb said, cast your bread upon the water and many days you find it. I was going to a prominent church in Kingston, and there was this lady that fall at the church one time, and everyone in the church was laughing at her and stuff, but I took her up, brush her off, and I said, hey, you want to go home and stuff? And I assisted her, and by my little act of kindness and gesture to her, she took her son to the church and pointed out me to her son and said, you see that lady over there? She helped me one time.
Mm-hmm.
She was the one who helped me and take me home in the hills. Sir, when I went to the embassy now to start out my business, guess who came to me and tell me that the police came my picture up there to get my visa canceled? What you
police actually spend the time that government is paying them and taxpayers paying them for to go to the embassy.
Yes.
So why were you
not the police officers that are assigned to the embassy, you know, or
no,
the ones that
other police
are the one that patrol out the gate, you know, not those ones. So when those ones that are assigned up there and see me at the front, when you do the police officers, I see they come up here trying to interrogate people in the system to get your visa canceled. I'm like, what? Sir, I was living in fear while having my court case going on, while going through the motion of the court and wondering what's next. I'm walking and I'm looking to see if somebody gonna harm me. That's how bad it was.
But you managed to survive through
Yes,
that.
sir.
You are resilient.
Yes, sir.
You're a strong woman.
A very strong.
Not very young woman at that time would be able to go through and have that.
Yes, sir.
Be able to maneuver through all of that.
Yes.
So I get a hold of. You have to get a hold of this book. You have to find a way on Amazon. It's on Amazon.
Yes, sir. Or my website, dawnsmikle.online.
dawnsmikle.online. It says grace beyond brokenness.
Healed by grace, empowered by purpose.
So this is a composite of the journey that you have been on and the various means by which you try to find sustenance to find ways to just to be able to hold yourself together.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you could have gone mad, you could have gone berserk, you could have done everything.
I'm telling you, I was suicidal.
As I went through the various chapters, they were like a tapestry of your various emotional experiences at different times.
Yes, sir.
Where you speak about, you know, loneliness. You speak about moments of like nightmares that you experience.
Yes, sir.
You went back through, or you compare some of what you experienced with that journey, with your own personal journey as you grew up. Because again, you did not have a very beautiful.
Not at all.
Not at all. You had a broken home. You had a situation whereby your mother was like a terrorist in your life.
Both parents.
Your father was a dog, for want of a better word, based upon what the content of the book says and the kind of experience that she has outlined and illustrated in this book. And you will have to get it to read the kind of a mud and dirt and grime that one young woman, all because of ambition.
Yes, sir.
All because of ambition, had to suffer and go through.
So I have it in stores too. It's at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston. It's at Brian Book Studio as well in Kingston, Half a Tree at the Springs Plaza. And I also have it at Great House Pharmacy in Ochirias and Spanish Town Center Pharmacy. And
the book carries your upbringing from St. Mary?
From Stony Hill.
Stony Hill, yes. And the kind of a journey that you had there
And not only for me, but how people, women, men, individuals overall should live and never settle for the things that come to them that doesn't mean value in their life. How they should push beyond their brokenness, how they should see themselves and not how people see them, but have that value in you, have that confidence in you that, listen, I am not just living and walking because Mr. Miller tell me that I am beautiful. Inside me, I am beautiful. I preserve, I'm purposeful in everything that I do. I portray goodness. There's confidence in me. I am not just living because I want to be pitiful because of what I've been through, but because grace allow me to live beyond my brokenness. I'm just going, I'm flourishing, I'm expanding, I'm growing.
What was your first encounter with God in a real way?
When I was at Maxfield Park Children's Home. Maxfield Park Children's Home.
Yeah.
I was left at the Spanish Town police station by my mom.
As a child, as a baby?
As a child. And I was placed in Glenor Place of Safety.
Yes, Glenor Place of Safety.
Yes, sir.
And what happened? You were there for how long?
I was there for like 10, 12 years.
At Glenhope?
Yes, between Glenhope and Windsor Girls Home in St. Anna.
Said your mother just left you there and then she gone and then should have business with you after that?
No, sir. But you know what good comes from it? There's this lady, Dr. Winklet Gallimore. She's a professor at UA. She came at the home and saw good in me, and she has been my tower of strength from then. And even when I left and resort to St. Anne, she always traveled like monthly to come there to, like spend a day with me, spend some time and give me that assurance that she cares, like she's a mother, that she cares for me.
Those are people you dedicate this book to because of the kind of commitment and attention and love.
Yes, sir.
My conversation here is with Dawn Smikle. Dawn Smikle is the author of this book, Grace Beyond Brokenness. And she has been broken in so many pieces that I don't know how she managed to be able to find anything to be here today. I mean, because when you think she was shattered and battered and bruised, she has faced so many slings and arrows. And, she's breaking so many parts that she now lives almost with what you call an iambic pentameter. When a 1 foot man mark, dum, that is how she is. But she's effervescent when you see her. She has so much confidence in herself and in terms of where she's going, and she's not done yet. But before you go, you understand, you're studying for a master's?
Yes, I'm doing cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity?
Yes, I have a legal studies, and now I'm doing cybersecurity.
Listen, we could go on. This is just part one of a two-part interview. We're going to be to talk more about the book, our growth, and our development when we meet again. This is Tenny Miller coming to you live from the studios of Flex FM. Listen, stick and stay, don't go away. We're going to a commercial break. We have to pay some bills, and then we'll come back after this.
Jesus, steady. We don't know?
Yes.
Good.
Until we go for it, ma'am, round 2. With us earlier, we had a discussion with a lady who is a former member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, who that august body of people were supposed to serve and protect. But when you listen to, her unfortunate ordeal, and it's very unfortunate, and the fact that, it reveals so much cracks in the system, in the administration, in the way members of the force treat with each other. So you cannot necessarily dismiss what other persons say about how they were treated by members of the force for simple activities or stuff or encounters when they encounter with them. If they're going to treat members of their own family like that. Her book is Grace, Beyond Brokenness. And therefore, then we're going to be looking at some of the other ways in which she was not just broken, but she was shattered to almost splinter. When you go through the book and you look at how she catalogs her life, she was really one of those persons who really have suffered a lot, and was destined to suffer, yet she's resilient. And irrespective of what happens to her, as Maya Angelou say, and still I rise. And she don't give up, she don't stop. She's now in her final throes of getting her master's in cybersecurity. At another level. It would be interesting to see if she gets back into the force in Jamaica at an administrative level with that kind of a degree, and let us see what happens. Is Tenny alive? Now, a lot of things been happening in Jamaica. The budget was read recently by the new finance minister, Madam Favour Williams, and one must congratulate her, the first woman finance minister in Jamaica. Just like we had Portia had a first, was the first female prime minister of Jamaica, and then we see who will come after with us. Anybody else with the grit and the gumption to be able to deal with the political process at that level. There may be one or two, I guess, but we don't have the testosterones around them will give them the chance to be able to survive. PNP have quite a lot of ambitious people inside there, but Darvinita Headley, for example, is one woman who have the acumen to take on such a task and to, if she's willing to position herself there and to, jump into, search to seek to be part of that top level leadership of the PNP and maybe aspire to be party leader. I know Angela Brownberg has that, Dr. Angela Brownberg has that ambition, and she's there among the bulls in the pen. And I don't know, how she's maneuvering there. She has quite an astute husband who knows how to catalog, I beg your pardon, to what you call it now, catapult, not the way, her into office if she so desires and want to. He, however, operates on some basic framework or principle based upon how he operates and what he does. And he's a very serious political organizer. And I don't know if we want to say ideologue, but then that's another story. But, Paul Burke. But we see so Angela Brownberg. And then no, in the JLP, I guess the only person inside there seemed to have the grit and the what you call it now, the some amount of testosterone for a woman who would want to really push their way to that position is the wife of the Prime Minister. And you can see from how she tries to chair the various sittings of Parliament, how she maneuvers and manipulates and manages there. Sometimes, from my own observation, I think she doesn't give each member or the various members, especially if you're in opposition. And that's from my exposure. Fine? And I might be wrong. They don't give enough persons to let them say what they have to say and let them speak to the next member. But she wants to intervene and wants to coach people along like they're school children playing with their first chemistry set. But then that's another story. But we see what happens with the political process. But the budget is on in earnest. The various levels of debates have been taking place. And I guess the opposition spokesman on finance or the Minister of Finance closed the debate on Tuesday. Now they're going to have the sectorial debate with the various ministers and shadow ministers for the various ministries and portfolio areas will now be making their individual more detailed presentation as to what they have in their budget for the various portfolio that they have responsibility for and how that affects the rest of the country and the nation. And we have to look down the line to see what are the things. They tell you that they have very limited taxation and they're trying their best to do this and their best to do that. And, well, a lot of people are also asking a lot of questions as it relates to the billions of dollars which were supposed to have been given to or granted to Jamaica over the last couple of months, how that factors into helping to prop up the budget so that they'll be able to carry out some of what is proposed to take place both in recurrent expenditure and capital expenditure to come. There's a lot of things to happen and to be done. There's a lot of repairs and reconstruction and and developmental things to take place. So we see what the various ministries have on their agenda and how that is going to be there to really give hope to the hopeless and give us the opportunity to say, well, yes, something is likely to happen. We have some discussion this month to take place today because we're going to be talking to Mr. Egerton Newman from the Transport Authority, from the TODSS, that's the Transport Organization for Sustainable Development. And of course, we have the president of Maxi, Maxi Tours, who have some concerns about what's taking place out there in the transport sector for both for Western Jamaica and across the country. And they were to have had a meeting, I think, yesterday or the day before, and things seem to have not gone well, but they are now hoping and waiting to hear from the Honorable Minister of Transportation, Mr. Vaz, to see Mr. Darrell Vaz, to say what are some of these opportunities and plans that he might have. Because one of the things they are concerned about is this new and growing sector a subsector of the transport business, and that's the people they call the Uber operators. And then there's also another one, which is another shadow of the Uber, where people just, man have him car and him want to go to him, just decide to, they set up a thing, and there seem to be some kind of a network with it, and people call in and they get a ride and they can take them here and there, but then that opens the door for so much risk for persons to take, and then levels of security that goes with that, or insecurity that goes with that, is something else. We should be speaking to our man from Maxi Tours. I don't know if he's online with us yet. We're hearing anything there, engineer, to say we hear anything from the people from Maxi Tours or Mr. Egerton Newman from TODSS, because we'd love to be able to speak to them to understand a little bit more exactly what's going on there, because the transport people, the Maxi Tour operators and the other Juta operators, they are concerned at the fact that these Uber people are now getting into their domain. They don't pay taxes, it's alleged. They don't seem to pay the requirement licensing for operation legally on the road, because you have to pay for your Juta license, you have to pay for your transport license from the transport authority, and then from the government department, where you have to pay for all of these things. You have to pay, plus you make sure that your insurance is at a certain level, and even if you have an old car, you want to go to a third party, by virtue of the fact that you're still carrying passenger and public passengers, then you have to, therefore, you're expected to pay a certain level of comprehensive insurance for the safety of your passengers, both tourists and local passengers, and you have to pay the various licenses which the government is required of you. Fine. And because you have to maintain your vehicle at a certain standard to keep it on the road, the wear and tear of that is another one, because you have to make sure that your braking system is working well. You have to make sure that the engine is serviced on a regular basis so that you can keep the quality of that up to date, or you're going to have a problem. And you have to pay for quite a number of other things. So the cost factor is real and damaging, if not punishing, to these people. And what they want to be able to do is that if we have to be confronted with so much expenses, the reality of our life is that we have these recurring expenses up one level or the other. And these people just buy the car, just insure it, and then the next thing you know, they join Uber and they're getting all of the business, and it's creeping into their earnings. Because these people borrow money to buy their buses, to buy the cars, to insure it, to license it, to make sure that you're putting their requisite support systems that you will need, so that you can provide a good quality professional service, as well as maintain your vehicle at a high standard. But you're not getting they said that no, it's like government now is allowing, whether directly or indirectly, these people to now start to operate in the country. And Jamaica is not like the big United States that you're able to the market is so wide that you're able to accommodate, because you don't have a whole lot of bus operators and taxi operators in America. And these things are organized. It's a first world country, so it's organized at a different level and stuff. And then the kind of a system where a lot of people don't have jobs, they don't have work. So the little money that they might have had, or they save, or they have a piece of property, and they mortgage a property in order to be able to get a vehicle to say, all right, let me enter into the transport business, because the public transport sector needs this kind of a support and needs this kind of a backup, so that we can help to move people from one level of the country to the other, and what, part of the country or the other, as well as now to assist with the tourism sector. Because despite you have the major, like sun holiday tours, or the various tropical tours, and all the various tour operators, there is still need for the Juta and the JCAL and some of these other small operators to help with the tourism industry, because the Ministry of Tourism is working overtime to ensure that we have enough visitors to the shores of Jamaica to be able to provide income and opportunities for people to be able to live and to operate. There are some other sector, the tourism sector, that people are complaining about other things, but then that's for another discussion another time. I know, for example, in the parliament recently, I think it was the opposition spokesperson on tourism. What's her name? Ms. Perkish. Ms. Perkish was concerned about contract workers in the hotel industry and, the kind of security of tenure that these people can or will or should enjoy. And the minister also gave some responses that the fact that, is a performance driven and certification driven process. As the industry expands and gets better, the people in the industry have to really professionalize themselves and their services. So there's a whole lot of, well, there is a dichotomy for sure, but there's also a whole lot of things that are unanswered and which are left hanging. There are some hanging, tourism charge there, which needs to be addressed in more details, both by the Honorable Minister and by the Hotel and Tourist Association and by the other parts of the tourism sector. I know TPDCO is doing some serious work in trying to upgrade the standard and the quality of not just the product in terms of the various products which are being offered to the tourist visitors, but certainly to improve on the quality of service delivery of the various persons within the sector. They're training people into entertainment and skills. They're training them into communication. They're being trained into customer service management and delivery and customer care. And they have a fantastic team who's working overtime to ensure that the product, both in terms of the offerings from the various attractions, as well as offerings from the people who are the service people carrying out the service, because the bottom line is, if the guest does not meet and feel secured and is treated with that level of professionalism and that sense of care, then the quality of that service delivery is going to, and the integrity of it is going to be compromised. And therefore, then we're looking at how the industry is going to start to fold or contract, because if tourists are not feeling secured and well to come to the land of wood and water to get good quality water and strong, safe wood to be able to be secured about, then what can I tell you? The product is going to be compromised. So the opposition and the government have some things, and I hope that they'll be able to do this with a certain level of soberness and with it, with the interest of not just the industry, but of Jamaica at the heart of all of this. So it's not just to oppose opposing sake because you're opposition spokesman and tourism, or to be too self-assured because you're the Minister of Tourism, but because you're servants of the people and you are both elected by the people whom you all take an oath to serve. Then it's not just the Minister of Tourism, the opposition also can say too. None of them want to have eyes, so therefore them have to say, oh, I saw you see it, and therefore then let me make some adjustment, and thank you for the comments, and see how we'll be able to, at the end of the day, make it better for the Jamaican people and the Jamaican economy. For example, in the parliamentary discussion with the minister, the opposition spokesperson on health, and the Minister of Finance, and because of his training and his professionalism, he was able to make some recommendations to the Minister of Finance as it relates to how she's going to be taxing the sweet drink tax, which is now a part of the budget to raise some extra amount of like a 10 or 15 billion dollars or something in that region to help to support the budget. But he says that if you're going to be trying to raise the money, raise it in a way whereby you push the nation in a way that they're going to be much healthier persons. So the drinks that have the more sugar and it's much more dangerous to the health, then you perhaps put greater tax on that than some of the drinks that are not as laced with sugar and have those other levels of what you call it, But other materials that is not necessarily very good for the health of the average person. You know, some people drink some of the thing with a lot of caffeine related stuff, which might not be good, especially for some of you young people. But you can't tell them nothing. They want this and they want that, and I won't call the name of no drink in particular. But everybody have to walk up down with a little cup with a, you can barely see what's in at the bottom of the cup. It is sort of silly and a stupid pastime. And most of the young men in Jamaica, you see them with a little cup and this what they call it? What they call it, TC? They have a little cup with something, they call it what? Yeah, but what they call the idea having that drink inside there. No sip. Them have a little name that they call it. And you know, I don't know. But it's something that we have to pay attention to. But the minister, the spokesperson on health, pointed that out, and the minister of finance in her closing exercise pointed out that she is concerned about that, and she made adjustment to it, which I think was very good, and it shows cordiality and the willingness of, you know, parts of the government and the opposition to not just to be acrimonious, but to see, well, yes, you know, how we can work together. And thank you for the suggestion or the idea so that I can make improvements. And the technocrats now can take their lead from that and go back and make it. Because at the end of the day, we are all supposed to be fingers of the same hand. We're all supposed to be contributing and dealing with the question of how we improve the health of the nation and how we improve the economy. So it will come with those various elements. So we hope that as the sectoral debate goes on, that the various spokespersons and the various ministers who have responsibility for the various areas now, it's not a matter of going over there to show off and with it, because a lot of showing up and going on for years. And Jamaica is one of the most developed countries in the world on paper. Jamaica is one of the most developed countries in the world on paper. Because every year they come with flashy announcement and pronouncement, and we're going to be doing this, and for 2 years, and it's just announcement in the budget, you know. A big piece of paper show. And then elections come and gone, and half of the things is still left, you know, in the back burner or in the back room. We're waiting to speak to Mr. Egerton Newman from TODSS, as well as somebody else from the Maxi tours. And as soon as we're able to get them online, then we'll be more than happy to bring them on. We were just, you know, in the meantime, looking at the budget. Now, what has been happening on the ground here in Florida is that I noticed that quite a number of organizations have mushroomed up or have repositioned themselves in order to try to help the Build Back Jamaica campaign. And one of the things I'd like to just say that the Build Back Jamaica thing is not a PNP thing. And nobody must capture it and then ask to ransom feet because of FIMI. If Jamaica gets affected by a hurricane, everybody in Jamaica gets affected by the hurricane. And it was a serious thing that happened in Jamaica, the hurricane. And as many of us in and outside of Jamaica who have the opportunity and the privilege to find a way to do something or to help, we must make it our business to do it. And you don't do it because you're PNP or you do it because you're JLP. If you got to pick up your chest. Because when it comes to the ordinary man and the poor people in this country, in Jamaica, we must have some respect for them. We have to have respect for their needs and concerns. Remember, the country is still a growing democracy. It's growing independent country. We're still only, 62 years independent. So we're not really up there yet. And we have been plagued with various challenges along the way, both politically and otherwise. That's a commercial break. I want him to breathe. That's it. With my name, the Maxi tour man. Oh, when this steak finish? I am not. I'm gone, no?
All right, so I want him. I want him to be the main focus on the screen.
And then I am to the side. Yeah, that's fine. What's his name again, Mr. What?
Oh, Trish. She said.
You read over there?
Yeah.
What that one there?
The one you doing?
Read.
Okay.
I'm looking at it was
Hi, my dear.
Some cranberry juice.
What's this? Coffee?
Cranberry juice.
Good. Thank you. Bless your heart.
I just said the bathroom stink. Somebody here.
I must see them.
Somebody's in there.
No, she come over, but she catch the door.
Oh, and yeah, when they, yeah.
We're on that. See, I wait for the bathroom breathe out.
Oh, jeez, you're on some.
Sorry. We're about to be joined by one of our guests for this morning. I think he's the president of Maxi or Mr. Egerton Newman. I'm not sure yet. We see who we have. Mr. Newman?
I am here.
I'm not hearing the person on line that's with me at all.
Are you hearing me?
Mr. Newman?
Yes, I'm here.
Can you hear me, Mr. Newman?
I can hear you.
Okay, good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Great. Giving thanks.
Good. I know you are busy and you have been doing a lot of things. You might have been, how many television stations you have been on since morning? About 5? Plus about 6 radio stations? Tell me.
A few stations.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm good enough. How are you, Mr. Newman?
A little bit tired, but you know, I'm at church. I was in the front seat and I walk away because you are very important to me. So I am happy to be with you this afternoon.
Okay, thank you for the compliments and the respect. You're most gracious. Mr. Newman, I heard that the transport people in Montego Bay are having some concerns as it relates to the advent of Uber into the system. Because what's going on is that with Uber now seem to be occupying a major place. I don't know if it's officially with the ministry or the minister's consent or not, but they seem to have some kind of prominence, and it's therefore gradually going to be eating into the revenue and the operations of those are the established persons who have to pay rent and light bill and mortgage and car payment and bus payment and transportation payment and high price of gas. Have you been involved with that process and what's going on with that?
Well, let me tell you, 7 years ago, a Minister of Transport said to me, we have to look out for foreign entities establishing transport institutions like Uber in Jamaica. That was 7 years ago. And I said to the then minister, you're joking. We can take another international or another transport company like Uber into Jamaica. But if they are coming, they must abide by the rules and the regulations of the Jamaican state. Now, 7 years now since they have been here, and nothing has been done to have them formalize themselves under the regulations of the Jamaican government or the Transport Authority. We have been waiting for the past 3 years when the then minister said to us, they are going to be looking into regulation to ensure that any foreign entities come with a riding good, there must be a part of the Transport Authority regulation. Today, nothing. And I've heard of launch and relaunch, establish and re-establish. Listen, we shall have none of it.
So, what you're saying is that the minister, whoever the minister was at that time, was accepting in acceptance of new players into the market.
Absolutely.
Like Uber.
Yes,
there was nothing done to rather regularize or formalize them into the system so that they can be a part of the establishment.
Absolutely, and we have been waiting for that because nothing is wrong with a Tenny Miller coming to Jamaica with a hail riding group, but it must be under the auspices of the Transport Authority. The Transport Authority in Jamaica must provide Tenny Miller, company, whatever, a license to operate. His workers in Jamaica must have what is called a badge. The car must be decorated with the emblem of the institution. And I'm saying, and I don't want to repeat the fact that we are suffering already. I mean, the sector knows that. I don't want to say we are going to be suffering because we are suffering. What I'm saying, any John Brown coming to Jamaica to operate must operate like my taxi man, or like my postman, like Jude or like Jacob, go to the training. Jacob spent $100,000 training for training. So why should it go
because
my brother? Why should it be like
because my brother? I understand.
Yes.
Because I understand that these operators, they don't pay road license and they don't they're not a part of the established Ministry of Transport regulatory framework. They're just a man who get a car, link up to the special company, and them just get a number and them just drive.
Some 15,000 of them right now are in Jamaica. And they are making more money than my brother who is with you there now, who work with cheap vehicle or the tourism sector, who should make a better dollar than me. He's making nothing right now, and he's talking about the bills that he has to pay. And it's 40,000 plus another 15,000 focus the illegal vehicles that government are doing things to get rid of them. And then we should get a 60%.
So is this?
Go ahead.
So what is the take of this new Minister of Transport on the matter? Because Mr. Vaz is the Minister of Transport, and him should be somebody who should be meeting with these people and the other persons who have concern, the various other organizations, JCAL, the Maxi tours, and you name it, and the other taxi associations, to come to some understanding as to what is the role and function of these people and what kind of regulations that govern them.
Listen,
Has he met with anybody yet to give any kind of assurance or reassurance about anything?
Let me say that when I spoke to my Minister Vaz last week about what I learned was a launch of Uber, or a relaunch, whatever it was, he said he didn't know about it.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, he told me a few months ago that he was looking into the regulation. My information tells me that the government is trying to set up a company or an institution or carve the regulation to allow white paid persons to carry passengers on a special license. I don't know if that's a license that the Ubers are receiving, but government is supposed to come back to us and tell us what is the present status of their discussion on the subject. Nothing as yet. But yet, the Uber and InDrive, there's another one. They are creating havoc illegally in Jamaica, and we are turning a blind eye to it.
No, but I would imagine that if they are going to accept Uber operators, because I mean there are a lot of people who have them car and them don't have no job, so they want to take. And look at what are the imperatives that have been demanded of them over time. And if these people are coming in, they are going to subject themselves to some of the same rules, or you're going to relax something on the other side and make it a common ground.
Yes. Let me tell you something, my brother. This morning, you might know that I have a function this morning where I award transport operators for doing the right thing, wearing their badge, their uniform, the car is clean. And there were 20 cars in this half an hour who park up Mr. Newman, but I'm not pushing me, can't drive me, can't work because the police, and me can't get my badge. You're under pressure for simple things, right? And I'm saying that it is hard for us to be going in all these taxes, there are these various things, to be trained, to get your badge, everything is costly. We pay the most taxes, transport sector. Government earn the most from us. So why should a company from Israel or US come into Jamaica, sideline all our regulations, put 15,000 men on the road, who don't have no badge, no uniform? In driving person pick me up, testing the waters. He pick up on a gate in something looking like panty. Pardon my expression. Now I said to him, I am the president of TODSS. I said, TODSS, are you some? Then he presenting more than over himself. But I want to go somewhere, so I have to go. So I take the journey. Another one, Samuel, picked me up a few months ago, and he light his gun just spliff. So these are the sort of persons. These are the persons who, in drive and Uber, accepting their system. They can go on the UWI campus and UTech at any time of day or night and pick up passengers. When my driver might have to go through rigorous tests, pay big fees to go on the campus. The Uberman, drive on, drive off, go on at any halls, pick up any passenger, and when something goes wrong, guess what? The media, your media, come out and say, the taxi man rape off one girl, a UTech. It's a Uber, it's an in-drive, what they know as taxi. That's what we're going through right here.
It cannot be fair to the existing operators for 15,000 people, whoever they be, from wherever they come from, whether they be partisan or not, whether they be religious or not, to be pirating the system, for want of a better word. And they are allowed to do it with official sanction, directly or indirectly. Because when an average taximan falls out of grace with his payment or something, the police take away his car, or it is impounded. But yet still you're going to find that 15,000 people are allowed to operate. And how long have they been doing this? For a year?
Yeah, and it could be more, you know. It could be more because if I call it for months ago, I tell you, there are one of them months ago, right? So it could be much more than that. Eating. I don't like to say it.
And if we're talking about security and safety, these people have no regulations, they have no control, they have no commitment to anything except themselves. So whether you don't know how to find them, they're not a part of an organization, so that you'll be able to have access to information on them. This is a very dangerous thing. It's not only the danger and the level of risk that is involved, but it is also unfair and disingenuous to the existing operators and transport people, whether you be Jekyll or Maxi or whoever. And it is going to create an unrest in the sector if it is not addressed and addressed urgently by the minister. From what I picked up from one of my reporters coming out of the meeting, that the informal meeting that should have taken place in Montego Bay 2 days ago.
Yes, very sure I could not attend. But let me ask you a question, Mr. Miller. How could you, coming from Israel, head office in Israel, and you have 79,000 people in Jamaica working for you, and you don't have the office in Jamaica? That is, nobody knows.
It don't make no sense.
Make no sense.
It makes no sense. So is Adopi operating the business?
Yeah.
Is Adopi operating it?
It seems so. Adopi business.
But so your organization therefore is about to have meetings with all of these other sector persons, or you're inviting to the minister for a meeting so to have a proper sit down and to address the matter seriously?
I am on a slight pause. I'm giving some time to the minister to get to me, but I am ready to pull the plug anytime Judge Jacob or ground transportation in Montego Bay is ready. I apologize to them for not meeting with them sometime this week, but I am ready at their call to open any door to put a stop into this. I don't know exactly what
it makes no sense. And it's not fair to the operators, the existing operators. It's not fair to them. It's very and I hope it's not having a political flavor attached to it. Because that would be unfortunate.
Don't go there.
No, I don't want to think so. I think it's a question of an institutional. It's a question where somebody have to take responsibility for that kind of a thing happening and been happening for so long.
Tenny, you know me from
that issue, that activity has got to be cauterized and be addressed seriously and directly by the minister and the permanent secretary in the transport ministry so that it can be regularized.
Mr. Miller, you know me very well for close to 40 years. I don't draw back no punch. And I need to ask a question. I hope my friend from Montego Bay can answer. Is there somebody in government who have connection with these two companies? I'm asking the question openly because I'm smelling something. There are two ministers who have connection to what we are discussing now. Tourism minister and transport minister, they should know. I am asking the question, is there anybody else in government who have connection to Uber King Drive in Jamaica? Raise your hand. Coming after you.
So we need to know. We need to know if it's the voice of Jacob or is the hand of Esau.
That's it anymore.
No, it's unfortunate, and I hope the transport minister, along with the tourism minister, because the tourism sector is greatly supported by this kind of a service, which is new and unregulated. And if one tourist get carried away or get kidnapped or get, God forbid that should ever happen. But there's an unfortunate, and then it take the foreign press. All of the excitement we're talking about tourism is going to go down the drain. Because the foreign press is going to ride it like the horse of what you call it, Banbury Cross.
Why does
So I'm not going to get away with this. So let me hope the matter is dealt with at the earliest possible time. Both the transport minister can bring the tourism minister to the table, or the state minister in tourism, whoever they are, and say, gentlemen or lady, let us sit down and work this thing out with the existing operators. These guys not paying road license. They're not paying for road, they're not paying for nothing. So how can them just walk in and get supremacy and get pride of place? And those are some of the things that have been happening to the Jamaican people and the economy over time. And it's about time we really stop it and do something about it. Especially in these times when things are hard and price of oil is going to be affecting not only just transport, but it's going to be affecting everything. Everything that is anything is going to be affected by what's going on in the Middle East at this time.
Absolutely.
So it's not something that we must play around with. It has to be taken seriously and addressed seriously by the authorities that be. So let me hope that you I know it's going to be a lot on your head, but you're going to have to provide the quality leadership that is going to be required for this. So I stand by. I'll be waiting to hear over the next couple of days exactly how the matter is being addressed, both by official people as well as by your organization and those persons together as a group. So you guys got to be meeting on this matter, Mr. As soon as it's possible. You and your team are going to be meeting as soon as it's possible to address this matter. I don't know if you're hearing me well, Mr. Newman.
Yeah, I hear you now. I hear you now. Callers coming in. Yes.
No, I'm just saying that as soon as it's possible, you have to meet with the various stakeholders, and to include the minister or the ministry and the transport authority, so that you can come to some sensible discussion and operational methodology. You're going to be doing that? Well, we seem to have lost Mr. Newman there, but what can I tell you? That's a serious thing. It's not about
maybe I'll get disrupted.
You can't have an entity just walk into the country and them operating like that. And you know, it's not that. Yeah, Mr. Newman, sorry about that.
I think
we lost you a while ago. Are you hearing me well? Can you hear me? We are having an issue with Mr. Newman there in terms of getting the communication out. But let me hope that good sense will prevail. The minister says he's a no-nonsense minister, and then there are some things that he wants to make sure that he finishes before he leaves office. Because obviously he's clearly thinking about departing the political scene and going into something else. So let me hope this is one of the legacies in terms of providing proper structuring or restructuring of the sector so that it benefits everybody and not just some. They have to be recognized. We have to see them, we know who they be. If they're going to exist in there, and we're going to have peaceful coexistence, then there must be proper terms of reference for them to operate. How they operate, why they operate, and that their operations are not, it will not be affecting the operation of the existing level of preferential treatment. Then those people who are there, you have to see how you make something more accommodating for them so that they can be satisfied, so that, that and accommodate other players into the game. If there is need, there might be a need, and they might be satisfying a need, and I have no doubt that is. But how do you facilitate these other people who are there and having to bear the brunt of the expenses of them car and them gas and them bank loan and all these things and the wear and tear? And these people just come in and then just take away the business from them, and then they don't have half of the kind of expense and challenge that they have. It cannot operate like that. And these are times when people are gracefully and gradually getting a little bit put out and, you know, turned off by how some things are allowed to happen and are happening both here in the United States and I'm sure in Jamaica. It's just that some people don't start to talk yet. And there's a time when people can absorb so much and no more. And after people's cup have been filled, after you have had enough, then, you know, them say no mug no broke, no coffee no throw away, but if the mug is allowed to broke, and the coffee, I got throw away, and I got a hot coffee too, it gonna be hell and powder house. And let me hope it don't reach to that. We're live here at Flex TV here in South Florida. We're just looking at some of the issues of the day and what's happening there in Jamaica with transport. And out there, the budget is on. When we meet again, we're going to be saying we can speak to whether a government minister or an opposition person to speak more about the budget and how it affects the rest of us. Certainly, the whole business of Build Back Jamaica is a very important, very serious, it's a very concerning thing. And those of us who can, for example, there are people in St. Elizabeth now who still don't have no light. People in Westmoreland who don't have no electricity. There are people in parts of Clarendon who don't have none. People up in the hills are going up to Maroon Town, still want light, still want water, and other things. We have to be wary of the scammers and the general and the criminal them who come try to collect things in the name of those people who are dispossessed, and at the same time them take it, go sell it out just for themselves. But at the same time, we have to come together and see how we can find a way to help each other and, you know, help those people in Jamaica. And what some of those people want is not just to send them food or clothes, although some of them might need clothes. What they also need, they need tools. Those persons in the affected areas, if you want to get them saw, and get them a hammer, and get them nail, and can organize it and get some sheet of zinc and one hardware. If you don't want to give them the money, find out which is the nearest hardware and give them something, and then that would make a sense. Fine? But make sure you find a way to extend yourself and extend beyond the limitations and see how we can help. We are all fingers at the same hand. So just want to send out the word, you know, and when you call home, instead of your call, send go Western Union, call the hardware people. Most of them sometimes have a foreign bank account because they have to come here and buy materials to carry down and stuff. And if you can find the hardware, say, listen, I want Miss Mary to get 2 pieces of ply and 4 sheets of zinc, and some 2B4, and some 3B16, so that she can build back her house or Mass John or whoever it is. And you send it and pay for it and make them go collect it. That is good too. Some of them would have loved to get the money in them hand, yes, so that them can help to see how them can best work it, you know. Because nobody know the situation like the man who wear the shoes, or it a burn him or it a squeeze him. But irrespective, whatever way we can help to can facilitate opportunities and some resources for the empowerment and the development and the growth and the restructuring and rebuilding of Jamaica, let us all make an effort to try. Until I join you again next week, this is Roy Tenny Miller saying, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. You sleep the sleep of the just, free from all your cares and sorrows. And as your night turns to day, as indeed it must, let me hope you'll all wake to a brighter tomorrow. You walk good.
Thank you.